Oh, he loves to fire and what a goal! Oh,
Welcome to another exciting episode of X-Sports, your number one sportstainment show, a fusion of sports and entertainment. It's all for your listening pleasure.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all over the world. This is Talking Point with Steve, coming to you live from MZ Radio, London, and AP Radio, UK. This is a special sportainment show brought to you by Eagles Global Resources. I'm your regular host, and this is Talking Point with Steve, where we bring you issues, perspective that has to do with sport and especially football. Today we'll be looking at an interesting topic that has taken over the media space and has taken over every media space all over the world. We are talking about the emergence of the new sheriff in town. We're talking about Liverpool being the new champion of the English Premier League. Liverpool emerging as the new champion of English Premier League. That is what we're talking about today, being on Talking Point with Steve. So we want to congratulate all Liverpool fans all over the world. It has been 3 decades, talking about 30 years, Liverpool now experiencing what is today regarded as the Champions League. For some of us that have been supporting Liverpool for more than 2 decades, for people that have been supporting Liverpool close to 3 decades, it means they did not experience what it means to be a champion of England. For me in person, I've been a supporter of Liverpool for over 15 years, since 2004, 2005, and I'm equally experiencing the being England champion for the first time too. So it's an interesting time for all Liverpoolians. It's an interesting time for people that have waited for over 30 years to experience this. I remember vividly my sojourn as a Liverpool fan made me about 7-8 years ago when I gave birth to my daughter to name her after the god in Liverpool then, talking about the Uruguayan striker Luis Suarez. I gave my daughter one of the names that I consider a name after Luis Suarez. I called her Queen Luisa from the name Luis Suarez. That is the kind of passion that I have for Liverpool. So I was there celebrating with my daughter. Immediately Chelsea defeated Manchester City. So but that has become history, because after that, after the guard of honor at Etihad, Liverpool lost scandalously 4-0 to Manchester City. But like we have said, Liverpool wins when it matters. When it mattered at Anfield early this year at Anfield, Liverpool defeated Man City 3-1. Last season, Liverpool defeated them 3-0. So it's a return of favour from Man City, and it's equally a pointer to the fact that it's a clarion call for Liverpool to wake up that next season will not be a child's play. So when we come back, we're going to be looking at top 5 elements that have helped or that are shaping the emergence of Liverpool as a new champion of Europe. On my talking point today, we'll be looking at top 5 elements that hitherto shaping the emergence of Liverpool as a new champion. That's my own view, though. There's a lot of elements people have given analysis over the period of time, but that is my own view. So, welcome again to Talking Point with Steve, a production of Eagles Global Resources on the program called Export, your number one sportainment show on TV, on radio, online, and on web. My name remains Lion this Stephen Tolulokwe. I'm your regular host on this show, and when we'll be back, we'll look at these 5 important elements on our Talking Point with Steve. Once again, we want to congratulate Liverpool and all its supporters all over the world, including me. I'll be right back.
wonderful goal!
Welcome back. This is still Talking Point with Steve, and we're here talking about Liverpool emergence as the new champion of English Premier League. Talking about the new sheriff in town, and I told you on Talking Point with Steve, we'll be looking at 5 important elements that's shaping the season of Liverpool in my own perspective. Don't forget, Liverpool is the current defending champion of UEFA Champions League, the FIFA World Club Cup. Liverpool is equally the champion. What has eluded them for 30 years is the England trophy, especially the English Premier League, and that's what they have waited for 30 years before they took over from Manchester City with a loss of Manchester City to Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be giving you my 5 important elements on Talking Point with Steve. Number 5 is titled Liverpool as a record breaker. Liverpool as a record breaker. There are records that this Liverpool team has shattered, and there are still records to be broken, all things being equal. The number 1 point is Liverpool is the team with the fastest team to win the Premier League in terms of matches remaining. With 7 games remaining, no one has wrapped up the Premier League title faster than Liverpool. They have overshadowed the previous record of 5 games left. In 1984-85 season, Everton had 5 games to go. In 1997-98 season and 2000 and 2001, Manchester United equally won the league, having 5 games left. The most recent is the Pep Guardiola boys, Manchester City. In 2017-2018, they won the league with 5 matches left. But Liverpool has broken that record because as at when they won the league, they have 7 matches left. So the first record is what I've just mentioned, 7 games left for Liverpool, yet they became the champion with 7 games left with the match that Chelsea defeated Manchester City. The other record is that they were never overtaken by any other team. Liverpool became the first team in English to have been the champion, and they were never knocked off the top spots en route to their title. What that means is that ever since he took over as the leader of the team, since the first week, second week, they were the leader till the end of the season. Number 3 of these records, Liverpool has won the league in 8 different decades. They won the title. They've made history as the only team that have won the league in 8 different decades. The other team that are close to that record is Arsenal, Manchester United, and Everton. They are the only other 3 teams that are tied on second place, having won the league in 7 different decades. But Liverpool made theirs 8 different decades. The fourth record broken by Liverpool is that this is the best start in top flight history of English football. What do I mean? The Liverpool team, led by Jurgen Klopp, amassed 61 points out of a possible 63 in their first 21 games. It has never happened before. No team has ever done that before. 61 points out of the possible 63 games in their first 21 games. That 2-point they dropped was against Manchester United at Old Trafford. We all remember. Another important record is that the coronavirus has actually, in a way, given Liverpool another record of being the team with the longest day to become the champion. They became the champion 321 days because of coronavirus. It was delayed, but the coronavirus has given them another record that no team had took that long to become the champion. But Liverpool did that because of the coronavirus. That's why jocularly some people call them COVID-19 champion. But whatever it is, they are deserving champion. Number 6 of this point is to look at the fact that Liverpool became a joint record breaker, becoming the 5th club in history to win all the opponents in a single season. No team has ever done that in the Liverpool history before. But in a particular, in the history of the Premier League, or in the history of the league in England, Liverpool became the 5th club to join that history. That in a particular campaign year, they won all the teams they've played. So these are some of the records that Liverpool has broken, and other records yet to be broken or that are still available for Liverpool to break is Liverpool needs just 15 points out of the available 18 to beat Manchester City's Centurion record. You know, Manchester City won the league with 100 points 2017-2018. So for Liverpool with 86 points, they just need 15 more points out of the available 18. If they can win the 5 matches that is remaining for them, then they will be above Manchester City, at least with a point, meaning that they can win. They win the 5 points, 15 plus 86 will give them 105. That would have beaten the record of 100 points that Manchester City amassed in 2007 and 2018. Another point that can be broken, another record that can be broken, is that if Liverpool wins the remaining 3 games at Anfield, they will become the first Premier League side to win all their home games in a single season. No one has done that before. There are teams that they have played drew, they have teams that have played draw, there are teams that have lost 1 or 2 matches at home, but no one has ever won all their home games before in a Premier League season. And 3 games remaining for Liverpool. If they do that, they would have become, the first of its kind in the history of the Premier League. Another record that is up for grab is Liverpool need 5 more wins to break City's record of 32 wins. They need 5 more wins to break City's record of 32 wins. So what that means is that, as it is, if they have 6 matches remaining. If they win 5 of all those matches, then they would have they would have won 33 games out of 38. If they win 4, they would have won 32 and become tied with Manchester City. Another record for grab is that the Reds are leading Manchester City with 20 points now, which is 2nd place. So if they continue like this, if they win all the matches that we have mentioned, they would obviously surpass the Manchester City largest margin of victory. They led by 19 points. So Liverpool is leading by 20 points now. If they continue in this manner, and probably Manchester City follow them and win all the remaining matches, they would have been ahead of Manchester City. The last one here, as a record to be broken, is that if Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian king, becomes and wins the Golden Boot, he would have become the 3rd player in the history of English Premier League, to win the Golden Boot 3 consecutive seasons back to back. Of course, consecutive means back to back, 3 seasons back to back. So he will have joined Thierry Henry and Alan Shearer if that record is broken by our own Mohamed Salah. So that's my number 5. Liverpool as a record breaker. I'll go straight to my number 4, and that is to look at Liverpool Gengen Pressing. They call it the meta football, the Gengen Pressing. The Liverpool Gengen Pressing with creative flair from the wing back. That's to talk about the classics of Jurgen Klopp that he has brought into the Premiership. We have to appreciate the fact that playing industrial athletic football, or the meta football, or the Gengen Pressing football or philosophy is probably not new to Jurgen Klopp alone. Other coaches have tried it, but Jurgen Klopp keep experimenting. He did it with Borussia Dortmund way back in the German Bundesliga, and he has come to refine it in England. You know why? English teams are fast-playing, strong-sided teams. So he came to revise it, he came to update it, he came to give it life, and that is why his creative flair flows from the prowess and from the fluidity from the two wing backs, talking about Trent Arnold and the Robertson. So these two guys, 3 and 2, are the other two flanks to which the front three, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, and Roberto Firmino, brings about element of creativity that breaks team easily. So the Gengen pressing has come to stay. It has not only come to stay, the heavy metal football, the industrial athletic football, whichever one you call it, are all due to no one but the German machine, who keeps updating himself, who keep evolving himself, talking about Jurgen Klopp. So the Gengen pressing with creative flair from the wing back has become a philosophy in football history that Liverpool has brought in, and I hope they keep it and become a dynasty with it. When we come back, we'll look at number 3 and number 2 on Talking Point with Steve today. Don't go nowhere. We are still live on MZ Radio London and live on AP Radio UK. Don't go nowhere.
So my name is Toby Daniels. I want you guys to keep it locked to Exports, one of the best. Watch out. They are coming out good this time.
Wonderful goal.
Welcome back. This is still Talking Point with Steve, live from MZ Radio London and AP Radio UK. So we will be looking at the third talking point, and my third talking point is tagged doing the right business in the transfer market. Liverpool doing the right business in the transfer market. No team succeed without getting the right players to fit in, and we know what Liverpool has done the last 3 seasons. When Jurgen Klopp came 5 seasons ago, he met players, some are average, some are not there, but what is important is that he has changed the team totally to become something else. And what it means is that he needed to fill in some important gap from the defensive point of view to the pacey, attacking, wide kind of players that he needed. He brought in Sadio Mane, he brought in Mo Salah. Of course, he met Firmino there, who wasn't a full regular starter when Bernardo was leaving, but he brought in Sadio Mane, he brought in Mo Salah, and he now plays Roberto Firmino as a dummy 9, like a false 9, and these other two guys leg the damage, and we see the Brazilian element of flair and creativity from Firmino. So this business in the transfer market, from the attacking point of view, has helped Liverpool to become a devastating attack over the years. In the midfield, he brought in Wijnaldum, and in the midfield, he brought in Fabio. These two guys are equally mainstay in the team. Wijnaldum brings a lot of energy, a lot of fluidity, a lot of box-to-box player, a lot of box-to-box, challenge and everything to the team. Fabio is a workaholic, and we all know he's a brutal force. He goes everywhere to get the ball. So this is a fantastic business when it comes to shaping your team. Of course, Henderson has been there before, but then he had these two guys to complement whatever he brings to the table. The most important aspect and glaring aspect for Liverpool, we remember vividly that Liverpool considered under Brendan Rodgers in 2014, they considered over 50 goals under Brendan Rodgers. The defense was practically leaking, and when Jurgen Klopp came, he knew there was need to change the defense. He knew there was need to bring in calmness. He knew there was need to bring in people that can make things happen from the defensive point of view, and he has successfully done that. He brought in Virgil van Dijk from Southampton. He waited for more than a season to be able to capture Virgil van Dijk, and he brought in Virgil van Dijk to marshal the defense. Of course, he gave life to people like Trent Arnold, Alexander, and of course he brought in Robertson to at an incredibly low cost, and he brought in a goalkeeper. That goalkeeper, Alisson, is a steal looking at the money. Even if you look at the Virgil van Dijk, with how expensive he was then, he's still a steal looking at the money. So doing the right business in the transfer market is a major factor that has helped this team, Liverpool team, to sustain and to become the world champion they have become today. Of course, we cannot but appreciate Michael Edward, the LFC sporting director, who has been doing magic in terms of the marketing, in terms of bringing player and transfer business of Liverpool. There's no way Jurgen Klopp will write his history as regards successfully bringing players that fit in perfectly without mentioning Michael Edward. So this is my number 3 on Talking Point with Steve. We'll move straight to number 2. Number 2 is an interesting one, and it's tagged the 5 near misses. What do I mean by 5 near misses? What we have experienced is that in the last 30 years, in the last 3 decades, Liverpool has missed the opportunity to become a champion for 5 good occasions. The first 2 misses were the early 2000, 2001, 2003, when Arsene Wenger and Sir Alex Ferguson were the dons at that level. So I wasn't supporting Liverpool, so I might not be able to concretely define how this took place. But the third one, which I was actively involved, was in 2008-2009 under Rafael Benitez. It was a good time to be a Liverpool fan after becoming the UEFA Champions League champion in a dramatic fashion in 2005. And in 2006, Rafael Benitez equally followed up with an FA Cup trophy. So we were all dreaming that if a team can become champion in 2005, FA Cup winner 2006, very soon will become the EPL. And that was it. In 2008, 2009, with the like of Steven Gerrard, Fernando Torres, the Coit, the Israeli, the most prolific player from Israel, Yossi Benayoun. All these guys were in charge at that level for Liverpool in 2008-2009, and we felt that we were close to becoming the champion at that level. So Torres was fresh from Atletico Madrid. He was untouchable, he was unplayable by a lot of defenders. But the match that broke the camel's back was a thriller at Anfield against Arsenal. It ended 4-4. The night was just for one man, Andre Arshavin, whom we all christened Andre Assassin, after scoring the 4 goals against Liverpool for the Gunners at Anfield. It was a terrible game. Liverpool needed that match. Liverpool has gone to Old Trafford, even with Cristiano Ronaldo playing and all that. Liverpool defeated Manchester United 4-1 at Old Trafford. So what that means is that Liverpool had the cup, had the EPL in their hands if they continue to win. And the first step they took on was to capitulate for Arsenal at Anfield. But it ended in 4-4, and that was how Manchester United were able to regain their force after losing 1-4 to Liverpool at Anfield, and they eventually won that league that year with 4 points over Liverpool. That was the third near miss for Liverpool. The other miss that I was equally actively and that made me cry as a Liverpool fan was in 2013-2014 season. Liverpool lost to Pellegrini and the likes of Yaya Toure and Kun Aguero and co. Steven Gerrard's famous fall at Anfield, Dembaba and William, the 2 goals that led to Liverpool capitulation, was an history that people do not want to remember. It was under Brendan Rodgers and the era of Suarez, Sterling, Sturridge, Gerrard, Coutinho and all that. We needed to just win. Having gone having defeated Manchester City 3-2, all that Liverpool needed was to ensure that the remaining 3 matches they won all. It was against Chelsea at Anfield, against Crystal Palace away, and against Newcastle. So Liverpool capitulated against Chelsea. They lost that game 2-0 at Anfield. I cried, I shed tears, and it was a bad time to be a Liverpool fan. Of course, we felt that things can still be turned around. We needed more goals, and we went to Crystal Palace to lead them 3-0, only for Gale to come back and do the magic, and the match ended 3-3 before Liverpool eventually won Newcastle 2-1. But it was too late, because he actually led Manchester City under Pellegrini to become the champion that season. Liverpool came second, losing that season with just 2 points. It was a glaring chance that Liverpool scuttled to become the champion of England. That is the 4th near miss. The final near miss is the most glaring, because Liverpool lost that EPL league with just 1 point, and that is 2018-2019 season, just last season, under Jurgen Klopp. They did everything right. They needed to get a point from the match on January 3rd, 2009 at Etihad, but Liverpool lost to Manchester City 2-1. But that was not what determined. About 4 draws, West Ham, Everton, they all determined dropping to 2 points, because Liverpool lost just 1 game in that entire season, and that is to Manchester City at Etihad. So apart from that, it was a good season, and a lot of Liverpool fans, felt dejected. But the only thing that kept them going was because we just defeated Barcelona at the semi-final of the Champions League, and we had then qualified for the final. So we know that if we could not win the Premier League, what we'll do is to go and die at the feet of Tottenham and win the Champions League, and that was what happened. Liverpool eventually consoled itself with the Champions League against Tottenham. So that would have been a more disastrous, more difficult season if there was no other cup in view for Liverpool, losing with a point. So these are the 5 near misses for Liverpool in the last 30 decades. For comeback now, we'll look at the last point on our talking point. Don't go anywhere. This is still Talking Point with Stevo.
My name is Marcus. I'm on Talking Points with Stevo on X Sports, MZ Radio, London.
Welcome back. Talking Point with Stevo. We are looking at what has shaped the Liverpool emergence as the champion of Europe. Now, number 1 on Talking Point with Stevo is the man called Jurgen Klopp and the management of Liverpool. The man called Jurgen Klopp and the management of Liverpool. Like I was saying some days ago, there are a lot of elements that account for people's success, that account for coaches' success. A coach might be good, but he might inherit a fantastic team. A coach might be an average coach, he might inherit a bad team. A coach might be good and inherit a bad team. A coach might be a fantastic coach and inherit a bad team. So if you inherit a bad team, depending on the management structure and the management philosophy, are they ready to dollar money to get good team? Are they patient enough? If you're unfortunate to go to teams like Chelsea that wants results in the middle, or teams like City that wants to buy the best of players, they will not be able to achieve it. When Jurgen Klopp came to Liverpool 2015, he said, give me 4 years, I'm going to give you at least 1 title. He did that. He did more than that. He did not give 1 title. He has won the EPL. He has just won the EPL. He has, before winning the EPL, he has won the UEFA Champions League. He has won the FIFA World Cup Club, and he was equally the UEFA Super Cup champion, and now the England champion. So it means that instead of 1 league, 1 cup, he has gotten 4 cups. So it means that it's not just a success story. He has brought in a lot of belief to Liverpool from a passerby, from a from a mere passerby in the league to a believer, and from a believer to a winner. Liverpool was nothing. They were not looking for anything. Of course, Ronaldo tried in 2014, 2015, but in terms of painstakingly building a team that it had to turn to a dynasty, you have to give it to Jurgen Klopp. He has brought in a lot of belief. He has brought a lot of passion. The way he expresses passion, the way he loves Liverpool inside the ring, the way he runs, the way he greets his player, the way he runs from pull out to post to celebrate with his team, shows that he's not only passionate about his job, he equally loves Liverpool with a passion. So I mentioned the man Jurgen Klopp and the management team. We remember that there's no way any coach can become successful without the support of the management team. So you have to give it to the John Henry family, the Fenway Sports Group. John Henry family has done fantastically well. They have a vision, they have a plan for Liverpool, and they are following through. And that's why when Michael Edward was mentioned, there was no way we can finish this story without Michael Edward, who has equally brought in fantastic player, who has done well in the transfer market, who has actually helped Liverpool in terms of emerging, a big team that can attract a good and fantastic player. In terms of even selling average and fringe player from Liverpool, he has sold players very, very with good amount. So he knows his job, he knows his onions. He's part of those that we should give kudos to. And when we talk about Liverpool, Team Werner, the chairman, the backroom and the coaching staff, all of them have been fantastic. But there's no Jurgen Klopp without all these people, the management and every other person that has made this dream come true. What is important for Liverpool now is to plan, get 1, 2, 3, 4 players so that they can further tighten and build the team for the defense next year. Though Jurgen Klopp has said that they are not defending their title, they are attacking the title next year. Whatever that means, it only means that guy is ahead of other people. But I'm sure that next season will be tougher. Manchester City, with the statement of 4-0 against Liverpool's 4th team, shows that they are in serious business, and Chelsea is equally recruiting Man U with Pogba back, with Hernandez as their new king, and with all the players coming back, finding their rhythm. It means that we can only hope for the best next season. So till I come your way next week, this remains Talking Point with Stevo from the stable of Eagles as Global Resources and from the program Exports. I want to thank my producer Muiwa of Mnet Studio, putting this together. God bless you. Till I see you next week, keep faith and always be good to yourself. This is Talking Point with Stevo, and my name remains Ally on this team to look. See you.
Yes, you have heard it, and there you have it. Catch us again next week on another interesting episode of Export World. That is EXSPORTSWORLD. It's still Exports on Radio, a production of Eagles House Global Resources. Till we come your way again, I remain Sportsman. Let's get more sporting and stay active every day.
Oh, he loves to fire it! What a goal!
Export on Radio, your #1 sportainment show.